so excited to be here today again for our second watch party and chat for Best Classics Ever. And I'm here with my good friend and fellow film fan, Kelly, from the blog Outspoken and Freckled and Twitter handle at IrishJHawk66. So actually, guys, I just have to tell you, we were so ready to go. The countdown clock was ticking, 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 ticking. And all of a sudden, Kelly booted off the internet completely. And we're like texting Kelly, where are you? Where are you? No internet, no internet. So we apologize for the delay. Take that, internet provider. We're hoping to have some holiday fun today. The good, fine folks at Best Classics Ever asked us, we'll be doing these watch parties once a month, so we're really excited about it. But today, we're going to celebrate the holidays. We're going to celebrate Christmas. We're going to get into the Christmas spirit. So Best Classics Ever sent us a list of really fun TV episodes, that's on their streaming service to pick from. And okay, so we had to choose between Burns and Allen. We had to choose between Ozzie and Harriet, the Bob Cummings show. What else did we have? There was a Shirley Temple show, and then one called Date with the Angels, which I've never heard of, but it starred a young Betty White, and Richard Deacon was in it from the Dick Van Dyke Show, and also Nancy Culp, who I always think of as Miss Jane Hathaway. So I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Miss Hathaway. So I thought that was really cool. But at the end of the day, we chose the Jack Benny Christmas shopping episode. And honestly, I didn't see it when we chose it, but we thought, I mean, how could we not pick Jack Benny? He's so iconic. His comic timing, he's just so funny. So that's what we went with, and that's what we'll be watching today. So let's go back a little bit. Let's kind of go back in time a little bit. So Kelly, like when you were a little girl, like what were the Christmas shows? What were the shows you used to watch, like getting ready for Christmas? I know, like for me, it's always been a Charlie Brown Christmas and How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
I totally agree with you. Those are iconic. I love Charlie Brown specials, which of course are these animated classics. But a different type of animation that I loved also were these Rankin Bass classic Christmas specials, from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer to Frosty the Snowman. As a matter of fact, I've got something to show you. My smile looks very familiar, and it turns out that it's just like the Abominable Snow Monster. So I want to show you that picture.
Out of control.
And you're killing
me. You're killing me.
So maybe the handful of fans that are watching this can tell us if they think that I have a future in Abominable Snow. I don't know how many job openings there are for that, but maybe I could get a gig. But yeah, I mean, I think the whole Rankin Bass specials were fantastic. And of course, Dr. Seuss, there was a lot of, specials for him on that as well. And Peanuts Gang, like I think you and I talked about even the music from those Peanuts.
Oh my God.
From Vince Guaraldi.
Yeah. And I told Kelly the other day, and you guys hopefully watching are classic movie fans, because, in my normal life, if I go, oh my gosh, Vince Guaraldi, people are like, wah, wah. What are you talking about? I'm like, Peanuts, Lucy and Linus, and, so that's such, oh my gosh, those are such great songs.
Classic jazz.
They just kill me. They just kill me.
And that's in addition to, like, that was still a pretty big era for TV. So classic TV, 50s, 60s, 70s. There were so many variety shows and specials. Whether it's, Bing Crosby would have them all the time. And there were those who had, regular ongoing specials that were like a variety show format. And you'd have like Perry Como or Julie Andrews had one in the 70s. There's,
I didn't see that one. I love
so many back in the day that were really, and that's not even getting into the films. And I'm happy to discuss the films as well.
The only one that stands out to me, and we talked about the other day, was when Bing Crosby did White Christmas with David Bowie. I thought that was So awesome. But I'm a huge Bowie fan. So
Yeah,
I was like, ever since I was a little girl. So that was really
that's such a
fun.
beautiful song.
Yeah, and they did it
It,
really
it,
nicely
it gets you
together.
here,
Yeah, yeah,
for
it
sure.
really is. It's gorgeous. So I'm going back to Banking and Rest because I was just thinking because you showed that box set. You know, a lot of those, like I'm looking here, like the Little Drummer Boy is in your
Yes.
Christmas set. I'm very familiar with that Christmas set. I
That
I
was my
actually
mom's favorite
I
one.
actually worked on that, just FYI, but that's another
What?
story. I'll tell you some other day.
Oh my God, you're teasing everyone by not telling us the story.
At my old job that I
All
did
right.
market
Okay.
that. So anyway,
Okay.
that's just part of my other life.
Apparently, Anne
But
Marie has had this
uh,
whole former secret life as a celebrity.
former secret life. Yeah, right. But so Cricket on the Hearth, right? That had
Yes.
prologue by Danny Thomas, right? And you had Mad Monster Party was Rankin and Bass, and that was with Karloff and all those guys. Little Drummer Boy had, what is it, Greer Garson,
Well,
and
Jose
Jose
Ferrer, right?
Ferrer, yes. And then of course Frosty the Snowman, we all know,
Yeah.
Jimmy Durante, right? And then Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Remember Fred Astaire,
Oh,
was
yeah.
the guy in there. So all of they're just so wonderful, you
Well,
know.
and Mickey Rooney was Santa Claus.
That's
It's
right. That's right. So for Rudolph, then Sparrow Lives, right? Was the
he was
snowman
a
in
snowman,
Rudolph.
and
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So how wonderful that all of these classic movie actors, like icons, right, are in all of these Christmas classics. So
Yeah.
I mean, those cartoons are so great. Yes, okay, and I guess Rudolph. Maybe I'll watch it again as an adult. Maybe I won't be scared of the abominable snowman, But
Well, that it's really been me all along. It's not so scary.
that's true. I'll think of it as Kelly.
Yeah.
So, and let's see. So I'm just thinking like, so classic movies, right? So I think I was telling you the other day when I was a little kid, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but when I think of Christmas, this sounds so ridiculous. I think of the Marx Brothers because I just remember when I was a little girl around Christmas time, my dad used to watch Marx Brothers movies with me. And I remember one year I was so little, but I remember I was waiting up for Santa Claus. And I remember like sitting on the recliner and I was watching Marx Brothers movies till really late, like because I was waiting for Santa Claus, right? 1 o'clock, two. I'm like dozing off, whatever. And it really is funny because I never could figure out why, no matter how late I stayed up, that Santa Claus only came after I fell asleep. It was like,
Santa is sneaky.
Oh, very sneaky, very sneaky. But for some reason, the Marx Brothers come to mind. But of course, I mean, clearly, It's a Wonderful Life, and
Oh.
you know,
And it's interesting because for so many of us that grew up with those type of movies as like our classic go-to when we think of the holidays and they become traditions for us. And I don't think there are very few directors like Frank Capra that can really bring that heart to a film because in a way if you think about it, I mean it's a very dark film also. I mean it's
it is.
like it's about suicide attempted, but it's also about redemption and family and coming together for your fellow mankind and it's got this really just it's always about what's at the heart, and I think that's what we see a lot in Christmas films. And I think a film that kind of reminds me of that is Meet John Doe, as far as being
Really
you
good
know,
film.
and some people call it a Christmas film, some people don't, but I think it's hard not to call it a Christmas film because it's got that heart. There's definitely a Christmas theme to it,
Right.
um, and it's God, talk about great performances.
Right, because it's what if it's worth dying for, it's worth living for. Was that the phrase?
Yeah, I think that was
Something like that, right? If it's worth dying for, it's worth living for, something like that.
yeah.
I can't remember.
When she's like falling apart,
Yeah,
like collapsing at his feet, I think,
yeah.
up in the
I'm gonna have
tower.
to look up that quote. I hope I didn't get that
Yeah.
mixed up.
But that's one that for sure. And I think, Capra definitely, again, another Capra film. that really knows how to bring home the heart. And there are other ones. I mean, for example, Miracle on 34th Street would definitely hit my list of holiday films, but for me, it's always been a tradition, and I know this is probably true for a lot of people. Is it your Thanksgiving film, or is it your Christmas film, or just a general winter holiday film? Because it starts at Thanksgiving, right?
Well, heck, why isn't it a springtime film? It came out in May.
Well, this is true.
We just looked that up today. We're like, wait, didn't that come out in the spring? And it came out in May.
Yeah, but let's face it. I don't know. Do you think of it as more Thanksgiving or more holiday?
I think of it as a Christmas movie because the ending, right?
Yeah.
I love that ending. That's such a great ending.
And it also makes me think, someone had asked, like, who is your favorite Santa Claus? And I think Edmund Gwenn is definitely up there because of Miracle on 34th Street.
Yeah,
it's hard pressed to beat, although I do like Ed Asner in The Elf, a much more recent film. But
I've never seen it, Kelly.
Oh my God.
Well,
we should correct that at some point here soon, because it honestly is, for a film that we would definitely not call classic, although some people would. That's the type of film that I would refer to as a modern classic or a new classic, because if it's post-studio era, but it has an enduring quality to it, Elf would definitely stand that test of those criteria for me. But in other words, there's a lot of films that have Santa Clauses. Someone dressed up as Santa Claus. When you think of Cary Grant at the very end.
Love that scene.
When he walks in, and that's My Favorite Wife, yeah. Right?
One of my favorites.
And is that a Christmas film? Because he comes in at the
well, and what minute. About Never Say Goodbye? Had Errol Flynn in a Santa outfit. I remember that one. I like that.
That was a charming Santa Claus, I gotta say.
Yeah. Cary Grant's kind of charming too.
Oh yeah. Well, Cary Grant's always my number one, but Errol Flynn certainly is suave. So he's hard to say no to. But what are some of your other favorite?
It's funny. The other night I watched Christmas in Connecticut. I love that one. You got the flip flop, whatever. I love that because here's this career woman whose whole career is built on homemaking, cooking. She's nothing. She kind of reminds me of me. I hate to say it. It's like, oops, can't cook.
Are you not a domestic queen?
Yeah, do I look like a domestic queen? It's pretty pitiful, actually. But so I love that movie because it's just such a great movie. And the wonderful scene when they're singing by the Christmas tree. Oh my God. So actually, that actually brought up a good point. I just pulled up Classic Movie Hub. We have our fans vote for their favorite Christmas movies. They rate movies, right? And this is one thing that really was interesting, Kelly. So I'm looking now, this is like 5 or 6 years of ratings. So this isn't like I did a poll or anything. This is like ongoing. And the number one Christmas movie, at least for the people who come to the website, is The Bishop's Wife. And It's a Wonderful Life is number 2. And I find that very interesting because I really thought it would have been flipped. I feel like It's a Wonderful Life is the Christmas movie. Like it's almost not Christmas without it.
I agree. I'm not going to disagree with that at all. I think that's
people. You need to vote to change that. Go to Classic Movie Hub. Vote for It's a Wonderful Life.
It kind of reminds me of the ongoing debate of whether Citizen Kane is number 1 versus Vertigo. And how that flipped. And I don't know.
I don't either one for me.
Exactly. I think I would.
What can I say?
I think So Casablanca would be yours.
Well, I mean, although Bridge on the River Kwai, I mean, it
Oh,
depends. That's like, oh my gosh. I guess it
yeah,
depends. It's such a tough choice,
yeah.
right?
I think, you know, some very perfect films would be either Sunset Boulevard or, you know, How Green Was My Valley.
Oh gosh, that's a good
That's
one.
just a beautiful
But
film.
how
And I
did we
think
get
really
so
special.
far off Christmas,
Sorry,
Kelly?
we went way off there.
This is
Which,
Kelly and I talking on a regular basis. We are just all over the place.
so, you know, How Green Was My Valley, speaking of Maureen
Love that.
O'Hara, back to
Yeah,
Miracle on 34th
there
Street.
you go.
Uh, um, you know, I think there are a lot of films that we think of as just iconic Christmas, and then some that are just little samples, little smidgens of Christmas. But
Yeah,
I definitely think that just even watching the films or the TV shows, it just puts you in that special
yeah.
mood, you know, the holiday spirit. And you know, which is, you know, I think what films like It's a Wonderful Life really being brings
That
that
it's so
Christmas.
special, right? It's just
Yeah.
a special time of year. And I know you know, we were talking about, because I'm looking at the list to give me ideas here, but of course, Meet John Doe. And I just want to mention that you can watch Meet John Doe for free right now at Best Classes Ever. There's a shameless plug, but there you go. You watch it for free. But I'm looking at our list. Meet Me in St. Louis. Wow. Wow.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
What a great film,
Yeah.
right? What a great Christmas film. The scene with Judy Garland and Margaret O'Brien on the windowsill. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. I am like sobbing every
I
time,
cry every time.
every
I
time.
just it brings you weepy because she sings like no one else. And, you know, little Margaret O'Brien, like, boy, she could deliver at such a young age. It's just amazing that that little scene. First of all, the colors, the Technicolor colors in that film are beautiful, beautifully directed by Vincent Minnelli.
Yeah.
But it's also one of those films where it's like it's got, you know, Halloween, it's got other holidays, you know, too, but it's just the Christmas part of that, even in a slice, is so iconic because we think of that song and her sitting in the window and just so
Extraordinary,
the emotion.
extraordinary. And so I have to give a shout out to Aurora. Aurora couldn't join us tonight. So hi, Aurora. I know you love Judy Garland, as do I, but you are a big Judy Garland fan. And that movie, just Judy Garland, what an incredible talent. That song would rip your heart out. And yet, if someone else sang it, it would be a very happy song. She
Well,
did it, heartbreakingly.
and Aurora is the one who introduced me to that film. Like I had seen little parts, but I'd never somehow seen the entire film. So the first time I saw it at a film festival, I was sitting with Aurora, and I think she looks over at one point and I'm like, just like the tears.
Sometimes I go to YouTube and just watch that clip and I'm crying. I don't even need the context of the whole movie. It's just extraordinary.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
looking down this list. So with Christmas in Connecticut, Holiday Inn, Miracle on 34th Street, Meet John Doe, Meet Me in St. Louis, White Christmas, Bells of St. Mary, Going My Way, The Shop Around the Corner. That's a good one. The Man Who Came to Dinner.
I
That's a real
I
Christmas
love
movie
all of these.
too.
I
Yeah.
think you know, I know a lot of people like Holiday Inn, which is some great songs for sure. I wouldn't say it ranks higher for me than White Christmas. And I know they show White Christmas all the time, but I love it. Like there's just something about the again the Technicolor. I like the songs and the dance and you know sisters, like I love that scene and that bit, both sides of it, you know, both when Danny Kaye and Bing Crosby are singing it, but also when Rosemary Clooney and I was gonna say Vera Miles, that's not right.
No,
But you know, I'm
Vera
so
Ellen,
close, but
Vera
not
Ellen, Vera
Vera
Ellen.
Allen. I always do that. It's like, no, the other one's the Hitchcock.
That's
Anyway,
right.
um, But there's something, really magical about White Christmas, and there's a reason why it endures as well. It just great numbers, visually speaking, great. I'm one of those rare Danny Kaye fans, so I love it for that reason too. And um, I think also one of the ones that I really appreciated later in life, because I hadn't seen a Man Who's Coming to Dinner. Uh,
Yeah.
I didn't see that till I was an adult, till later. And that is a charming film that has a lot of slapstick to it, you
You know
know?
what? It really is. And the first maybe time I saw it, I didn't warm up to it. It took a couple of viewings and then I really appreciated it. It was really good.
Well, and you can't go wrong with any Betty Davis film.
Yeah. Betty Davis and
Yeah.
Sheridan was in there too, right?
Yes,
And
yes,
then Monty Woolley, who Jimmy Durante was in there too.
yes, yes.
So
Very
yeah,
charming.
really interesting. So I'm trying to think, am I missing any? Oh, we were talking about, was it Going My Way the other day, right?
Yes, and I have the thing for Barry Fitzgerald. Maybe it's the Irish in me, but he's this charming, small, shy little man who just steals every scene. Like there's something about him that is so off the charts charming, and he really brings that Irish brogue, and he's been in so many iconic films. But
Mhm.
Going My Way, there's a scene where Bing Crosby starts singing this Irish lullaby because Barry Fitzgerald is sick in bed, and he misses his mother from the homeland, from Ireland. And so he starts singing "Tura Lura Lura,"
Oh my
okay,
gosh.
forgive my
Yeah.
singing. And it just makes me weepy every time. Every time.
I'm gonna have to watch it again because the thing that I remember from it is when Bing Crosby's playing "Swinging on a Star."
Oh
I
yeah.
love that song. I think that is such a great song.
Yeah.
Would you rather be a mule? I love that song ever since I was a kid. I remember on YouTube, there's this little Lulu cartoon where she's actually swinging on a star. It's very cute.
Oh,
Very
cute.
cute.
And then I always kind of get it mixed up with the Bells of St.
Bells of
Mary
St. Mary.
too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And another
I have to
classic.
watch that again too. I haven't seen that in a while. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to watch. I think I know what I'm gonna watch. But you know what's killing me here? I'm looking at this list and I don't see the March of the Wooden Soldiers. Oh my gosh, that's sacrilege. Oh my
Yeah, it
gosh,
is
the March of the
surprising
Wooden
that people would choose that
Soldiers.
more.
My gosh, I think I used to watch that on Thanksgiving and Christmas, right? Oh gosh, that's such
Yeah.
a great movie.
Well,
That's
and
such a
Laurel and
great
Hardy.
movie.
You can't go wrong.
Unless they called it Babes in Toyland, that's possible too.
And that's kind of like there's two versions. There was like the one that came later too.
Okay, actually, yeah, this one was from 1934. This is the one with Laurel and Hardy, but they called it Babes in Toyland. They didn't call it March of the Wooden Soldiers. I remember it as March of the Wooden.
It's okay.
I don't
You'd find it.
know. So I'm trying to think. So I think that, I mean, should we maybe get ready to watch the TV show?
Yeah.
You think it's about time?
Yeah, I think
Um,
I think what should we tease people to say, look for some
oh,
familiar faces?
definitely. And shout it out where you know them from. And actually one of them, you might not recognize their faces, but you're going to know their voices, right? One of
That's a good
them.
way to put it.
I mean, you'll recognize one of them. The other two, you're just going to know their voices. So, anyway, I thought it was such a treat. And you know what? That show is quite old, a long time ago. And I'm sorry, I still found it very funny.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what does that say about me? I don't know. Good, clean fun, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I like Jack Benny's delivery.
Delivery.
He's just like he's slow, he's steady, he's centered, his pause. He's just got the perfect timing and he's so serious. It's
Well,
so
and
funny.
I would like to talk more about this after we watch,
Yeah, let's
because I want to get into more conversation about Jack and
yeah.
his
And
style of humor.
yeah.
And then maybe we can talk more about, what is a Christmas movie.
Yeah. And we still didn't talk about Eddie Anderson, Rochester, Eddie Anderson. We didn't talk. So there's, yeah. Well, I think everybody, right, I hope would know that they work together, but okay. All right, forget it. I am going to stop talking. I'm going to stop with the jazz hands. Okay. And we're going to get ready to roll the episode. I think it's about a half an hour, and we'll see you in about a half hour or so. So hope you have some fun, and please chat. We'll talk to you on the chat.
From Hollywood, the Jack Benny Program.
Gets worse every year. Right. Did you bring my Christmas list?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, here it is.
Oh, good. Now, look, Rochester, look, as long as both of us are in the store here, I'd like to buy you your Christmas gift now, you see? Because I don't want to duplicate anything. You see, what did I give you last year?
A brand new dollar bill.
Oh, yeah.
And a lecture on the evils of wine, woman, and song.
Well, that was just a gag, you know. I just did that to make you laugh.
I wish you'd have told me. I cried all night.
Oh, stop, will you? Now, let's see. Right at the top of the list, I got Don Wilson. Gee, I got to get him something nice, too. I don't know, maybe something in the leather goods department. Maybe a nice wallet, huh? Don would like a wallet,
Yes,
wouldn't
he
he?
would.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
Oh, I'd like to see some wallets, please.
All right. We have a large variety here. All these wallets you see here are $1.98.
Well, they look nice. $1.98, huh?
Yes, sir.
Say, boss,
What?
here's some better wallets right here.
Let's see. Oh, Don would love this one. This is a real nice, huh?
That's genuine cowhide.
Cowhide.
Yes,
huh?
sir.
How much is that?
$40.
He's been with you a long time, boss.
Well, all right. I think Don would like this. He has been with me a long time.
right, fine.
I'll take this. Now, wrap it up as a gift and send it to Mr. Don Wilson, 4946 Whitsett, Beverly Hills.
Beverly?
Yes, sir. Oh, here's your money.
$40.
$40, yes,
Please,
sir.
I'll make a nice package for you.
Yeah, to do that, wrap it up in a nice Christmas package.
Beautiful, beautiful.
That's a 10. Let's see, there's 20, 10. There's $40.
All right, and thank you very much.
You're welcome. Oh, wait a minute. Before you put that in, I want to write a nice note.
All right.
For him, a little card for Don. Just 1 second. I don't know what to write to him. Just something kind of cute, I think. Let's see. To Don. This will be cute. Wait a minute. Look, listen to this, right? How's this sound? To Don. This gift is from Jackie. Oh, golly, oh, shucks. I hope that you like it. It costs $40. Isn't that good?
Yeah, it would have been tough to get around for $1.98.
There you are. Now put this in with that, and don't be and see that Mr. Wilson gets it before Christmas. Won't you?
You bet I will. I'll make a beautiful package for you. Don't you worry
thanks.
about it. I'll
Thank
take
you.
care of it.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now let's see. Well, I got Don all set. Now I want to get something for Mary. I think I'll get something in the jewelry department for Mary, huh?
Oh, say, boss, do you mind if I do some of my shopping now?
No, go right ahead, and I'll see you later. Now let's see. I wonder where the jewelry department. Oh, Mister. Pardon me. Are you the floor walker here?
Well, what do you think I am with this carnation? A float in the Rose Parade?
I always run in. How can you keep a job as a floor walker?
My father owns the store.
Oh, and you're working your way up, huh?
No, I started as president. If you have a question for a floor walker, you better ask it fast.
I have no question, and I'm not going to ask anything. I'll find it myself.
Phew.
Always run into him every place. Now, let's see. I wonder where... Let's see, for Mary, I wonder where the jewelry department is. I gotta get...
The jewelry department?
Yeah.
Right over there.
Gee, I hope they still have a nice selection. Oh, there it is, over there.
How do you do, sir? Merry Christmas. May I help you?
Yes, I'd like to look at a watch, please. I want a watch.
For a man, a woman, or a dog?
A dog?
Well, this is Beverly Hills, you know.
Yeah, well, I'd like a lady's wristwatch. I don't know any dogs.
Well, we have a very large selection. Now, here's a lovely watch for $120.
Yeah, $120. Mm-hmm. How much is this one here?
Oh, that's only $12, but it's a very nice watch.
$12, huh? Oh, that's a beauty. I can hardly tell the difference here. I'll take this one here for $12.
All right, fine.
There you are. Now, wait a minute. There's 10. 1, 2, there you are. There's your $12.
Thank you.
Gee, this is I can't tell the difference. This is really a beautiful watch, isn't it?
It certainly is, and it has an unbreakable crystal.
An unbreakable crystal, huh?
Yes.
Well.
Here, try it out.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, go ahead. Go on, go ahead. Hit it with the hammer and see.
Oh, well, all right.
Do you want a gift wrap?
Gift wrap? I don't want it at all. I want my money back.
Well, I'm sorry. I can't return your money.
Oh, you can't, eh? Well, I'm going to get my money back.
Well,
But there's going to be
just
some
a minute, just a minute. Oh, Mr. Nelson.
Yes?
Him again.
What is it, Miss Valley?
Well, this man just broke a watch with a hammer, and he wants his money back.
Well, of course I broke the watch, but she told me to.
She told you to.
Yeah.
Well, good heavens, don't you have a mind of your own?
Well, of course I've got a mind of my own. But this young lady...
Young? Why, she's 42 if she's a dame.
talking about that. Now, look, I want my money back.
Oh, all right, Miss Valance. Give him back his money before he bites somebody.
What?
You're breathing on my carnation.
Oh, get out of here!
There you are. What a sore loser.
Well, this is certainly a fine store to do business with.
You walked in, Lotus Blossom. Nobody dragged you.
Oh, quiet. Heaven's sakes. Well, I couldn't get a gift for Mary. Anyway, I got Don all set. Now, let's see. Oh, I don't know, that card I sent to Don. I don't know. It didn't seem dignified enough for Christmas. I think I'll change the card. Oh, clerk.
Yes, sir?
Look, I'm the fellow who was here just a little while ago. I bought that $40 wallet.
Yeah.
Remember? Well, I'd like to change the card.
But mister, I already got it wrapped with ribbon and pencil and little bells and holly.
Yeah, I know, but I'm sorry. But look, I'm sorry, but you'll have to unwrap it because I want to change the card.
But mister, look.
Look, please, I'm a customer. Now unwrap it.
Oh, all right. But it's so pretty. It's a dirty shame.
I know.
Such a nice ribbon and everything.
Yeah, I know. I just have to change the card.
Yeah, I like the card you had in
Yeah,
the
but I have to
place.
change it.
I thought it was very witty. All right.
All right. Now, this is much better. To Don, a very Merry Christmas from Jack. Huh? All right, now, put this in with the gift and wrap it.
Yeah, I'll wrap it. Good. A very original card to Dawn. A very Merry Christmas.
May I help you, young man?
Help me? Well, yes, you've been standing in front of this counter for 10 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm confused.
Well, that's understandable. You're confused because it's Christmas time, because you have the Christmas spirit. You're buying Christmas presents, and there's so many different things to look at.
Well, that explains why I'm confused in December, but what about the other months?
I wouldn't know. I'm standing behind this counter because in a moment of wild enthusiasm, I sold my pants.
Well, see, I gotta buy something for my mother and father, and gosh, I don't know what to get them.
Well, maybe I can help. Looking at you, I can just picture your mother. Small, petite, gentle, with a kindly smile for everyone. Spends most of the time sitting in a rocking chair knitting.
That's my father. Now try to guess my mother. Boy, does she make him toe the mark.
You mean your father's afraid of your mother?
Oh, everybody's afraid of my mother. Boy, you know, when I was born, the stork left me a block away from the house. It's a good thing I knew the address. Hey, you know, while I'm here, maybe I ought to get something for my boss, Mr. Benny.
Well, how about this silk shirt?
Oh, yeah, that's nice. That'll be fine.
Hi, Dennis.
Oh, hello, Mr. Benny.
Hi, you doing your Christmas shopping, eh?
Yeah, I was just going to buy you a gift, and you had to walk up and spoil the whole thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were buying me a gift.
Now you'll have to close your eyes.
All right. Like this?
Okay, mister, you can wrap it up now. And put it in a shoebox so you won't know it's a shirt.
Can I open my eyes now?
Yeah. Boy, that was a close one.
Yeah, it certainly was. Look, Dennis, you bought me the shirt, did you? Now, why don't you go home before you get lost?
Oh, I can't. I'm working here.
In this store?
Yeah, they have me singing Christmas songs.
Here?
I can't live on what you pay me. Gosh, I gotta go now. I gotta sing one song.
Can't live on what I pay him.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glowed. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then how the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then how the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history.
Yeah, I can understand them wanting Dennis to sing here. Voice is so beautiful. Now, let's see what else do I have to get.
Jack!
Yes?
Not you. I'm talking to the elevator starter. You're not the only Jack in the world, you know.
I never ran into a guy like... Hey, he's right. I'm not the only Jack in the world. That gift I bought for Don Wilson. When I signed the card, I only put down my first name. Gee, $40 gift, an elevator starter can get the credit for it. I better change that gift. Oh, clerk. Clerk.
Yes, sir. What can I do? You again.
Yes, look at, I want to change that card again. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. No. First you buy the gift, then you write the card, then I wrap the gift, then you change the card, then I unwrap the gift, then you rewrite the card, then I wrap the gift again, and now you want to write another card.
I can't help it. You'll have to unwrap the gift. I'm sorry.
I already sent it down to the delivery room.
Well, then you'll have to go down and get it.
All right, I'll go get it. I haven't run into anybody like you in 20 years. Oh, why did the governor have to give me that pardon?
I don't know about that. Just
All
bring me
right,
my
I'll
pants.
get it, I'll get it. I'll get it! Go with the red-nosed reindeer. They'll never where he goes.
Well, sir, what can I do for you?
I'm trying to get a gift for my boss.
Your boss, eh? Well, what would you like?
Well, I don't know. Maybe you got a suggestion.
Well, what kind of man is your boss? Is he the athletic type?
No.
Is he the intellectual type?
Well, no.
The executive type?
No.
Well, perhaps the outdoor type?
No.
Well, perhaps he's the playboy type.
No.
I'm afraid there isn't very much left.
That's him. All right, here you are, mister. I found it. I found the package. Now, please, let's not have any more trouble.
No.
With all that beautiful wrapping and everything. Yeah. All right, you got the card ready?
Yeah. And listen, I changed the poem. I want you to hear it.
All
Listen.
right.
To Don, your pear-shaped tones many announcers ape, but no one can ape your pear-shaped shape. Isn't that clever?
Yeah, clever.
I think so. I think so, too.
Attention, please. Santa and his reindeer have just arrived in the workshop. All you children come up, tell him what you want for Christmas, and get your lollipops.
Peppermint, the same as last year. That's funny. That card I made out to Don Wilson, I can't find it. I wonder where it is. Oh, clerk. Clerk.
Now what? Now what?
Look at it, I made out a card here for Mr. Wilson, and I can't find it.
Don't worry about it. I found the card. I put it in the package. I wrapped it as a gift, and I sent it down to the delivery room.
But I forgot to sign it.
Please, you're creating a scene.
I guess you're right. The customer is always right. And this jerk is a customer.
Well, let's see. Now I gotta get something for my sister Florence. Maybe I'll get some lingerie for her. All right. Pardon me, would you wait on me, please?
Why not? Your money's as good as anybody.
Well, I'd like to see something nice in silk lingerie.
Certainly. What size do you wear?
It's not for me.
Oh.
It's for my sister.
Oh, I see.
I want size 34.
34, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. 34.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole box of...
Oh, this, huh?
Yeah.
That's all that's nice lingerie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hello, will you lay it out? Just lay out the lingerie, please.
Just a minute.
I mean, why are you wearing gloves?
Oh, touching that stuff with my bare hands makes me a nervous wreck.
What?
Especially the black ones.
Well, look, I haven't got all day. Look, just show me size 34, some lingerie.
34. Oh, here's a nice little garment. A genuine pure silk 90.
Uh-huh. Well, this might be nice.
Yeah, it's pretty.
See. Let's see this. Oh, what are these loops for here?
The loops?
Yeah, the loops. Yeah, what are the loops for here?
Oh, when you go to bed, you hook them over your toes so the nightgown don't creak up on you.
Well, how much is this one?
It's $15.
All right, I'll take this.
Oh, thank
right
you,
here.
sir. Yes, yes,
$15.
Yes, sir.
There you are, 10, there's 5. Now, I want you to send it to my sister,
Your sister,
Florence. Florence Fenchel.
Florence Fenchel.
Chicago, Illinois.
Chicago. Does she live near the Loop?
Yeah, the Duluth. She's about 3 blocks from Duluth.
Oh, I'm
Yeah, here it is.
Oh,
There's
thanks.
her address. Now, send her a nice Christmas gift, will
Yes,
you?
sir. How do
Yeah.
you like that? Right near the Loop.
Well, let's see. Oh, I mustn't forget to sign Don's card now.
I went down to the delivery room and I looked all over and I didn't find it. They already sent it out to the truck. So I went out to the truck and I found it. Here it is. Here it is. Sign the car.
Put it in with the
Yeah, I know. Wrap it. It's a $40.
Yeah, $40, that's right.
That's right.
When I pay $40, I want it to be right.
Right. $40.
Let's see. Where did Rochester go?
Here I am, boss.
Oh,
Here I am.
Rochester, I think I'm through here for today. We can go home now, huh?
Oh, do we have to go right now, boss?
Why, you're through shopping, aren't you?
Well, I got you a gift, but I think I want to get you something a little better.
A little better gift for me? Oh, for heaven's sakes, Rochester, that's ridiculous. It isn't what a gift costs. You know, it's the spirit in which it's given.
I guess you're right.
Well, of course I'm right. What's the difference what you spend for a present? It's the thought that counts. What's the difference? It's $50 or $40 or $1.98. It doesn't... Rochester, wait right here. I'll be right back. Oh, clerk.
Don't tell me you're gonna change the card again.
No, that's not important. I want to change the wallet.
What?
Instead of the $40 wallet, I want the one for $1.98. Such a nice young fellow. Let's see, $1.98 for $40. I got some change. you enjoyed the show. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. And I'll see you next week for Lipton Tea.
I hope you enjoyed that episode. I thought it was so funny, and just to see some of these wonderful actors. I mean, to be honest, I had to look up Frank Nelson. I knew the voice, may I help you? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I know this guy's voice. I've seen him in I Love Lucy, and I looked him up. I'm like, that's right. He was in the Flintstones. He was in the Jetsons. He's been, oh my gosh, Mr. Magoo, Our Miss Brooks, Sanford and Son, believe it or not. He was in about 10 episodes of Sanford and Son. So what a voice. What a voice.
I love the yes.
And then when I was watching, I did not recognize Mel Blanc right away. And I know what he looks like, but I didn't expect to see him
right
in a TV episode. Like I always see pictures of him voicing Bugs Bunny or, voicing, all right, favorite, Bugs, Daffy, who?
That's tough because it's like two different personalities, right? But they're both hilarious.
I love Daffy. Daffy. He's just, I don't find him despicable. I find him really poor Daffy.
Well, and he's just so over the top screwball. Like you can't help but love.
He wants attention. He wants to be the big shot, and it just never works out for him. Duck season, rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season, rabbit season, duck season, boom.
Bugs was a lot more cool cookie, right?
Yeah.
And Daffy was more like totally unhinged all the time. Just
Daffy. So I'm looking. So Mel Blanc, or okay, thank you for bringing up today. Our producer was like, it's Blanc. So Mel Blanc, we're like, is it Blanc? Is it Blanc? I don't know, Peloponnese. I was like,
tomato,
Exactly. So I'm not quite sure now if it's Blanc or Blanc, but I've always called him Mel Blanc.
It's hilarious regardless. And I don't know if you've seen a lot of the old radio bits, but he got a lot of radio work, as you can imagine, when he wasn't doing Looney Tunes stuff. And that helped him make this transition from radio to actual TV spots. And he was hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
He was definitely more than a voice. Like you could see that he could actually do those, because comedy's hard. It's not easy to do comedy. And he delivered more than just the voice. Like when he's like disheveled and falling apart.
And I'm looking, like I even forget he was Barney Rubble and Dino the Dinosaur. So he did Hanna-Barbera stuff in addition to the Looney Tunes. So, but he was Sylvester, Yosemite Sam, Foghorn Leghorn. Oh my gosh. My gosh. Porky Pig. Wow. What talent, right? What talent.
And
so it was so fun to see him.
Foghorn is one of my favorite characters.
I love when the little chicken is the chicken hawk, and then the dog and with the thing, and he's running, and he's. Oh my God. I'm sorry, I still laugh at those cartoons. I think they're hilarious. And I've gone to the festivals to watch them on the big screen. Actually, Aurora and I went years and years ago. We were dying laughing. So I just love Mel Blanc, but that's Chuck Jones, all of that stuff. So, and then I guess Richard Deacon, right, from the Dick Van Dyke Show. But I always know I was watching the old Invasion of the Body Snatchers around Halloween time, and he was in that.
He did a couple of, like, you'd see him in the background in a couple of sci-fi, what is considered now classic sci-fi stuff. Back then it was probably maybe a pretty low paycheck for him. I don't know, because they were, lower budget things back then that became classics. But he was even in
Beaver. I was just thinking of Leave It because he was oh my God, Rutherford, right? He was. Yes. Hang on, he was.
And he was also in a Doris Day Rock Hudson classic as well.
Wait, which one? Which one? How do I not remember him?
Of course I drew a blank.
Gosh, which one was he in? But I'm looking here. He was in The Mothers-in-Law. Remember that with Eve Arden and Kay Ballard? He was in a lot of episodes. He played Roger Buell, Phyllis Diller Show. I don't remember that. Dick Van Dyke Show, of course. Mr. Ed, he played a doctor. But Leave It to Fred Rutherford and Leave It to Beaver. Right, he was Lumpy's father, right? Lumpy. It was Lumpy?
Well, and this is really, if you think about it, he was a character actor when it was the golden age of television. Yeah. This was the time where bit actors, character actors, could get a lot of work and be seen in American homes, on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of a, not like a small thing to have these small roles back then, because TV was huge. That was the golden thing that was taking away, it was actually a threat to the film industry to a certain degree. Yeah. It's a competitor, to say the least. So a lot of these character actors that we love to recognize in film and TV back then, that was it. That was the golden era for that.
Yeah.
It's exciting whenever you see those faces.
Exciting. It really is. And then, we don't want to not talk about Eddie Anderson, right? So,
yes.
I got to tell you, his timing is great too. Him and Jack Benny, I don't know. Everything is so fast these days. It's really nice to watch centered people take their time, deliver the line, and it's funny. It's funny. Their timing is so good.
Well, and that's obviously such an important, vital part of comedy is comedic timing, like getting that timing down. And Jack knew how to, and you can see later, Eddie does the same type of pacing to get the laugh. But Jack was a master at waiting and waiting till you get more of the laugh built up. And it's almost like you could tell he was waiting to see how long he could stretch out that pause to get the biggest laugh.
I do want to know something. When I watched it this afternoon, I didn't catch him laughing, but now I was like, oh my gosh, he's laughing. I mean, oh my gosh, could you imagine being there on that set, acting with them? Oh my gosh, they probably had such a blast.
Well, and someone brought up on the chat line about, being similar to Harvey Korman and Carol Burnett show. And that
crack up all the time.
I think Tim Conway could crack up.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Mr. Wiggins, he was the old man. Harvey Korman dressed up as that woman. And oh my gosh, Carol Burnett, forget it. All of the parodies she did, they're priceless. Yeah. But coming back to Jack Benny, so we were talking about this before, films. I have my absolute favorite Jack Benny film, and I think it was the same one as you, right?
It's my favorite as well.
Which one?
And a lot of people, let me just say at first, a lot of people think of, when they think of the films that Jack Benny did, because he did do films as well, even though he was definitely more famous for TV and some radio as well. But a lot of people think of, To Be or Not to Be, with Carol Lombard, gorgeous, hilarious, just an amazing person, Carol Lombard. But there's a film that he made called George Washington's Slept Here.
Yeah.
And it is hilarious. And for anybody out there watching this right now, if you haven't seen this film, it really shows his comedy chops. Like, you can tell in this film that Jack Benny is just naturally funny. There is just something about his timing and his pace. And, it's easier, I think, in TV to kind of keep it brief and do a little break the third wall a little bit and kind of look at the camera thing. But it's a little tougher in a film to come across as that same instinct for timing and humor the way he does. And it's hilarious.
I didn't discover that one on my own. My mother, when I was really young, gave me a VHS tape of it because I happen to, stupid as this sounds, I like George Washington. I've read a lot about him. I love history, whatever.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, George Washington stuff here. It's right up her alley. But oh my gosh, it's like a Mr. Blandings, like Bill's Dream House. But it's just such fun. Ann Sheridan, right? It has Pa Kettle. He's not Pa Kettle, right? But it's the guy it was Percy Kilbride. Wasn't he Pa Kettle, or am I crazy? Maybe I'm wrong. Hold on.
Well, and I do like you bring up
he is Pa Kettle.
Kind of like a Mr. Blandings Build His Dream House. It is a without giving away everything. I mean, you'll still want to see this film if you haven't, but it's basically, this film that goes into like this money pit type of house, and all of the hilarity of things falling apart, and worst case scenario, what can go wrong with your neighbor and the property line. And it's like, boom, you almost need to see it several times.
It's just really fun. And like Mr. Blanding, it's like this city couple who all of a sudden decides to move to the country. It's just really priceless. It's a really fun one. It's a really fun one. Yeah. So that's definitely my favorite. And I do remember him in Charlie's Aunt as well. And I remember liking that, but I love George Washington's Slipstream. It's such a fun one. So highly recommend that.
And then his beautiful co-star, is that Ann Sheridan?
Ann Sheridan. That was Ann Sheridan. Right. She's fun. But Charles Coburn was in there too.
Oh, I forgot.
It says Hattie McDaniel was in here, but I don't even remember Hattie in it. I guess I'm gonna have to watch it again, Kelly.
And everyone's so used to watching him, in his TV show, to get back to Eddie Anderson, I think it's just great to follow some of these. If you're not familiar with people like Eddie Anderson, who's known as Rochester, you get to see him a lot in the programs and the shows, and it's definitely worth watching for that alone, because the two of them play off so well. And it has to be said, just to point out the obvious, that this ongoing bit that Jack Benny did for his character that seemed to transcend from radio to his TV show to film, him being a cheapskate.
Exactly.
It's
priceless.
You wouldn't think you would get that much comedy out of like a little gag, a little bit like that. Mm-hmm. Like, you'd think you'd spend like 5 minutes on like a couple of jokes, and that's as most as you could get out of it. Mm-hmm. But I've never seen anyone build up a career on one little like vaudeville type of bit like that. Like, it's hilarious.
It is hilarious because he doesn't do it in a mean or malicious way. He almost makes fun of himself. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, he's got that look, and he looks at it's very, very funny. Like in the beginning of this episode, I'm like, he's going to spend $40 on a wallet, not for anything, but $40 for a wallet now is expensive. This was a long time ago. I'm like, how is that, like $100 for a wallet? And I'm like, I can't believe he's going to spend. I'm like, why isn't he getting the $1.98 wallet? That was my first thought. Kelly's like, I hope Anne-Marie doesn't buy me a Christmas gift for $1.98.
But seriously, I thought the same thing, and I'm sure everyone else is thinking the same thing. It's like $40.
It's so out of character.
But I really like the fact that this ongoing gag of him being cheap, it went on not only like in all these different mediums and all these different shows. So it's like he was the same character that seemed to transcend the screen. Yeah. But all of the interactions with these other characters, Eddie Anderson being his constant sounding board for that is fantastic. Like when they go through, the kind of type he is,
oh my gosh,
that type.
So funny. Anderson's timing on that was incredible.
We don't have any time left. And he's like, that's the one.
Oh my God. It's really funny because I don't really watch the Jack Benny show but I think I'm going to watch it now. I mean, it's just priceless. I
Yeah.
don't know. There's just not something about it. I guess he's Jack Benny for a reason.
Yeah.
He's kind of an
And-
icon, right?
Well, and you wouldn't think, to your point earlier about some things feel dated because, it's hard to keep things where it doesn't feel dated if something is decades old. But the only thing that felt slightly dated probably in this show was, do people know what a floor walker is? And the fact that they would wear a carnation was actually a thing that you would see. I don't know how many people have seen the film The Bachelor Mother with Ginger Rogers and David Niven, which is, by the way, you can think of that as a Christmas film.
Exactly.
Just to kind of segue into that a little bit, but that is another example where they show, these department store floor walkers with a carnation. And that was the thing that you saw back then that today people would be.
Please, you can't even find a salesperson today. Well, actually, right now I would kill to be able to go to a department store. Okay,
Right.
I would kill to be able to go somewhere and deal with the hustle and bustle of the crowds and looking for stuff. Who knows? Everything's relative.
Maybe after this pandemic, they'll give everyone carnations. So just
maybe.
get us back in
But
the
right, try and find a salesperson at a department store. Good luck with that. Try and find a cashier at a department store.
Well, hopefully they won't hand you a hammer and ask you to
and you knew what was coming, but it was still funny.
And that was another thing. Well, and that was another thing that people pointed out in the chat line too, was watches. Like watches, people still wear watches, but it's nothing like what it used to be.
Yeah.
People look at their phones. They don't, but other than that, I think there are very few things in this special that felt dated at all. Like this comedy was still hilarious, even decades old. There weren't like jokes we didn't get, in other words.
Yeah, no, I mean, the annoying customer that wants to exchange stuff, change things, this and that, it was kind of fun.
Did you ever work retail when you were younger?
Doesn't every kid have a retail job at some point?
Well, this kid worked retail from the age of 16 to 36.
Oh, wow.
So I worked it a long time.
Yeah, I did it through high school and college,
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of your first, what other job are you going to get, right?
And I loved it, by the way. Holiday was my favorite.
I can imagine.
I loved it. Like, I love the hustle and bustle, and people are all cranky, and it was always my joy to see if I could get them to smile. Like, I made it like a personal competition in just for myself.
Well, I remember when we first hung out many, many years ago when we were in LA, and we were walking to the Roosevelt Hotel. And you were like, it's in the morning. Okay. So I'm like, just like coffee. And Kelly's like, good morning. Hi, good morning. And I'm like, wow. It's like, what a concept. Because I'm like,
I think you guys honestly looked at me like I was Snow White with the little birds flying around like, good morning.
But Kelly is so nice. And I'm such a grump. But I'm just like, point me in the direction, give me a shove, let me get my coffee. Am I going to say hello to someone? Probably not. I'd probably be like, they're going to steal my bag, and you're like, you're so like a ray of sunshine. It's so much fun.
Golly.
But
well, speaking of ray of sunshine, I would love to talk more about our favorite Christmas films, but also I would love to hear what you think of, like what defines a Christmas movie. Because we have discussed a few already, and some have like a little bit of like, maybe there's Errol Flynn in a Santa suit. Is that a Christmas film? Or, Well,
I think there's Christmas films and then there's Christmas films, right? So for me, for a real Christmas film, there's got to be something in there that shows goodness,
Yeah.
kindness, giving, sacrifice, thought about other people, right?
Yeah.
That's why I think with It's a Wonderful Life, there's so much thoughtfulness through that movie, because Jimmy Stewart wanted to leave his whole life, and he always stayed because he felt compelled to help people.
And
And
I
then
do
at the
think
end,
that's right. I think sacrifice is kind of a
sacrifice.
key element.
And at the end, when he's desperate, he learns that, and so there's this life lesson there, you
Mhm.
know. That to me makes a real, like, it's got to be heartfelt. And with it, with Meet Me in St. Louis, the scene with Judy Garland in the window, she's heartbroken and she's trying to cheer up her little sister. You're going to
Yeah.
love it in New York. You're going to love it. And she's dying inside.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that to me, and then when the father gives up the huge job, like, those are the types of Christmas movies that it's about giving. It's about showing people that you care more about them than about yourself. You know, that to me is a real
Well,
bona fide Christmas
and
movie.
I think that's why the Christmas Carol is
Yeah.
this, classic story, going back to Charles Dickens. It's like the reason why that particular tale has been retold so many different versions. And I think in a way, It's a Wonderful Life has a definite Christmas Carol,
Yes.
theme
You're
to
right.
it. From seeing his ghosts in a way to, seeing what life would be like without him, in a way is very Christmas Carol-esque. And do you have a favorite version of the Christmas Carol?
Oh, I knew that was coming. I think Alistair Sims. I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I
I
think
do like the what's this?
Reginald Denny.
Reginald Denny. I think that one, and to keep a modern twist. I know this isn't a film you've seen before, and we don't talk a lot about the more modern films, but I do love Scrooged with
I've never
Bill
seen
Murray.
it. I've never seen it.
And frankly, I love the Muppet version. I really do, with Michael Caine. Like,
I
it's
don't think
really
I've
good.
seen that either. So I like Michael Caine a lot. So maybe I'll have to watch that. So I'm looking. So I know there was a George C. Scott version. I haven't seen that either. And I know there was an Albert Finney version, but I don't think I've seen that one. I've seen Reginald Denny. I've seen Alistair Sims. It was Reginald Denny, right? Am I crazy? It was Reginald
I think
Denny.
that's right. I think that's right.
So yeah, am I crazy? Don't answer that question. You also said Patrick Stewart from Star
Patrick Stewart was, there have been so many versions of A Christmas Carol, and really they're all so good. There was also a British version that was really good. And I can't think of his name right now, but it just shows that just that one tale has been redone so many times that is always very much, that heartfelt sense of sacrifice, all these qualities that you were talking about can be found in that one story that has been retold many times.
I love A Christmas Carol. Many years on Christmas Eve, I would read it and then I would watch the film. It's a great look. A classic is a classic is a classic.
And some films I haven't, discovered until more recently. The Lemon Drop Kid, I hadn't seen that until just in the last, like, a few years ago with Bob Hope. And, I think there are other ones that, A Man Coming to Dinner, with Betty Davis, that is one where it was a more recent discovery for me, maybe just a few years ago. And that is definitely, Christmassy.
So for you, what makes it a real Christmas movie, a bona fide Christmas movie?
Well, I think it has to either be leading up to Christmas or cross that date line at some point in the film. It doesn't necessarily have to be, and this is where I'm going to get controversial, because I know that some people don't think of Die Hard as a Christmas film. I definitely think of it as a Christmas film. Now, it doesn't have all the, checkpoints that a lot of people think of with, I mean, first of all, it's obviously not classic in our sense of the definition. It's not a studio era film or TV show, but it takes place at a Christmas party. There is a guy dressed up as Santa Claus. And yes, it's very violent. So probably not for everyone, but would I call it a Christmas film? Yeah. Really? But I think it doesn't have, what it doesn't have as much is the stuff that I really love in other shows and other films, is that sense of heart that really makes you almost like, just brings you to the weepy part, you know, 'cause that's, I don't know, there has to be like, not only that, like you said, sacrifice and some heart there, but sometimes, they can be almost melancholy. There's something about looking back to the past feels very Christmassy to me as well.
Yeah, that's good. But for me, it also has to have some kind of beautiful, nice heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I think, Kelly, we're running out of time.
Oh, okay.
So I think that, so I guess, my gosh, I had such fun chatting with you, Kelly, and chatting with everyone. I hope everyone had fun. I mean, this is so much fun for us. I hope you can tell, because I think that we laugh a little bit. Hopefully we don't cry a little bit, but we're going to be doing this once a month. So, hopefully we'll see you again, and, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful holiday. Happy and healthy New Year to everyone out there. And we'll see you on Twitter and on our blogs and next month.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Bye.
See you next year.
We're clear. Okay.
Great. Good. Kelly, I wound down because Arnie thought it was time, and I think you were right. I think you were right. Good. But that's what I'll do whenever that happens in the future. I'll be like, oh, we're running out of time, because I'll make people think it's a, yeah, cool.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, you guys did absolutely great, by the way. I think your banter after the Jack Benny show was just as good as the Jack Benny show.